How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Robot Wars Reborn Rematches. Today's rematch, the heavily requested and possibly the greatest rivalry in all of Robot Wars, Razer versus Tornado.
Tornado all of a sudden is looking a tired out old thing there. And Razer on the backward step it seems. But Razer's game plan has not worked and Tornado's has. Oh, that they can't get them down the pit. Look at that, it's an anti-pit device as well.
The bitter rivalry between Razer and Tornado began in the Extreme 1 All-Stars final when Razer cruised to an easy victory, as well as in the second World Championship semifinal. But after that, Tornado came up with the genius plan to create the Anti-Razer device, a very big frame that surrounded the full body of Tornado, which worked perfectly against Razer in the Extreme Warriors International Championship semifinal and in the Series 6 Grand Final, as Tornado evened the series at 2-2. Then for the semifinal of the European Championship, Razer tried to fight back with a little hook extension onto his beak. In yet another odd twist for the series, Razer gave up victory in this last fight to Tornado after they thought they were incapacitated. And before we get into the fights, there's a couple things we have to tackle. First off, both bots have been rebuilt. We're going to start with the Tornado rebuild. Basically, there was the problem of the bot was way too big, and there wasn't really a good working weapon for him. So I went back in, redesigned everything, now taking advantage of the new glitch I've discovered where you can put a Z-Tech motor onto a flipping motor and then adjust the start position so that that motor is going halfway in and out the body, as you can see, which Tornado has right now. The body's a lot smaller, he is invertible, and I've given him the Ninja Star part as his blade because it's the only thing that's one solid piece that is very close when it comes to not hitting the ground. And now for a quick showing of the Razer recreation, which was the opposite of Tornado. The body was too small. So all I really did was make the same shape but a little bit bigger, and I was able to add a second battery into this bot because that was his problem. He ran out of battery life too fast. Now, you can go ahead and criticize the front wheels. I did what I could, but based on the way the wedge was, based on how steep it was, that is the best I could do for their positioning. Yeah, I could have maybe gone and put them on a flip motor to then extend them out forward a little bit, but I honestly didn't think of doing it that way. Two other notes before we get started. We now have the Robot Wars arena for this series, which will be the new thing from here on out. And since Razer and Tornado fought 5 times, we're going to do a best of 5 series. So let's not delay any longer, let's get into the first fight.
From Bournemouth in Dorset, Razer. From Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire, Tornado. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And off we go for the first of potentially 5 matchups between Razer and Tornado. And Razer coming in early for a bite. Tornado trying to avoid the beak but not doing a good job of it. And Razer comes in for another little peck on the top of the body there. 3 tons of crushability factor that Tornado has to be wary of if he is going to want to win this series. And once again, he rides up the front of Razer. He is not doing a good job at the moment of avoiding the weapon there. But he is clipping the side of Razer a little bit and causing some damage to the front scoop. And Razer comes in for another bite. Tornado, very active. Very mobile, very quick. And now sliding to the side of Razer. It seems like that's the strategy, just keep charging and then shift to the side. But more often than not, he rides up the wedge like he does again, and Razer comes in for a nibble. Tornado just escaping. And Razer has decided to go for the pit. With confidence rising, he thinks he can grab Tornado again and again, and he thinks he can drive him into the pit of oblivion. But now that it is open, both bots will have to be very wary, or else they will fall deep down into the abyss. But Razer does not seem concerned with the abyss. He seems concerned with damaging Tornado, and he's causing a lot of damage, and both bots are near the pit, and Tornado nearly backs into it. Just escaping before Razer can turn around and push him in. Nervy stuff now that the pit's opened. Razer coming in again. Now smoking in the front. Tornado is causing a lot of damage. And Razer is not in complete control of this match. Tornado chipping away a little bit more. This one is too close to call. Razer now smoking a little bit more. It's those front drive motors. Are they burning out a little bit perhaps? He comes in for another bite. Tornado caught. Escapes. Moving a little slowly now as we get to the end of the fight. This has been end-to-end stuff. Tornado trying to rip off the beak. Tornado now smoking. This one's going to be close. We're into the last few seconds, and I don't know who's going to win it. This one will be tough to call, but it's gone to the judges. Well, what a close first fight. Somehow the judges have made a decision. They're looking at style, control, damage, and aggression. And they've gone for Tornado! Oh! That may be a little controversial, but that's just what this series knows.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So here we go for round 2. 1-0 in favor of Tornado. Perhaps a bit controversial, but it's in the past now, as both bots feel each other out. And the floor flipper trying to make an appearance. Both bots will have to make sure they avoid that. Tornado coming in on the side of Razer there with a good attack. And now Tornado, you gotta get away from there! He gets away just in time from the floor flipper as the bots move to the center of the arena towards the drop zone where a refrigerator waits in the ceiling. Tornado decides to go for the pit release. And Razer with a big bite on him, and he's got him controlled, driving him towards the pit, but he can't finish the maneuver off. Tornado escaping at the last second. But if he gives Razer a second chance, he might not get so lucky, and Razer has the second chance, causing major damage onto the top of Tornado, who can't get away. He's trying to go for the beak instead. Razer bringing him to the grinder. Tornado is playing a risky game, and Razer comes in again with a bite. And again, he's got Tornado up against the ropes, up against the wall. Can he get him into the pit? Tornado dangerously close. And Razer comes in again with the crumpling effect, with the beak clamping down onto Tornado. You can only fight Razer at this fast pace for so long before he wears you down. Tornado tries for the side again, Razer turning away. Tornado looking flattened. Razer looking energetic. Smoke coming out of somebody, we can't tell who. Razer with a clamp on Tornado again. Smoke pouring out of one of these robots. Or perhaps both of them. And Razer with another bite on Tornado. And he is not showing him any mercy, trying to finish it. Tornado with a cheeky pass over the floor flipper, which deploys too late. Razer causing all the damage, dictating the pace and the tempo. And now we see the damage as Tornado slows. It looks like this will be the end, and it is! And Razer claims the second fight. Razer meant business this time, and he showed it, destroying Tornado in the end. The bots entering the arena again. Razer and Tornado. What is this here? Tornado bringing out the Anti-Razer device for round 3, it appears.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So Tornado clearly believing that the Anti-Razer device will help them through the rest of this series. And out comes Tornado with now the horizontal spinning blade coming at the front of Razer, who comes in to the side for a good first attack, but It appears the framework of Tornado doing what they hoped, keeping the beak at bay. For now, at least. We question the strength of the frame. We question the legality of the frame. And now Tornado being shoved towards the drop zone. Get out of there! And he does just in time. Razer had an idea of what he wanted there. And he's ripped off the back part of the frame. And now Tornado is partially exposed. How costly could that prove to be? Great attack from Razer. Now hitting Tornado head on. They reach a stalemate. Razer backing away. Tornado a lot more slow with his movements now that he has the frame. And Razer is able to take advantage. But he can't get to the body of Tornado because the frame is in the way. I can't tell if it's helping or hurting Tornado more. He is struggling to get in any attacks with the horizontal blade. The motor hitting Razer before the blade hits. And Razer said enough of this. He's activated the pit release. And he's broken off more of the frame. Tornado is in real trouble now. Heavily exposed. Can Razer capitalize? He's done significant damage. And he's got Tornado going into the pit. Tornado is able to escape. And the Razer has fallen in instead. Is this 2016 Razer? Tornado wins. Okay, sure, there might have been a risk that Razer was going to fall into, but maybe Tornado would have fallen in first. You gotta follow through with the push, or else crap like this is going to happen. Tornado getting a very lucky win in the third fight.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Round 4 begins. Tornado slowly making his way over. Razer thinking about the pit release. Tornado going for the pit release. It is now open. Razer on the attack, going after the frame. And he's ripped off half the frame with his first attack. And Tornado in trouble early on. The frame is not working as they hoped. It may be keeping Razer at bay, but it is not strong enough to stand up to the attacks of the beak. Razer has Tornado now. Most of the frame is gone, and he's going for a shove into the pit. He's got Tornado in a very vulnerable position, and they've both fallen in. But Tornado has fallen first. Razer gets the victory. Huh. I guess Razer was alright to throw caution to the wind in the last fight, because now we see what could have happened. But he gets the win regardless, and we go to a decisive 5th fight.
3, 2, 1, activate.
The 5th fight, Tornado reverting back to a vertical spinner for this fight. Razer immediately going for the pit release. It is time for both bots to drive nervously and cautiously. Tornado back to his quick self. Razer back to within striking distance of the body, and he's got a grip on Tornado, but he's let him go. Very unlike Razer here to show a little bit of mercy to his opponent, especially Tornado. But he's got him briefly locked up again. Tornado trying to drive quickly around, and he's trying to get to the side of Razer. Takes a pop. Both near the drop zone, escaping immediately. Very wise of them, isn't it? To stay away. Tornado doing his best to shift side to side. Razer is quick to turn, however. Tornado nearly upended there. Clearly the Tornado team felt that the frame was more of a hindrance than it was of assistance. Will their strategy work? Razer has a bite on them, but they have a bite on Razer. Razer has to be careful when going head-on at Tornado because the beak could easily get lopped off if they aren't careful. But they've done alright so far. Oh, and Tornado taking bad shots from the angle grinders. He's now smoking because of it. Severe damage caused, and Tornado is up against the ropes. And Razer with a small bite there. He's edging closer to the finish. Tornado passing over the floor flipper. You don't want to tempt fate with that. It could end ugly for you. It looks like he's trying to bait Razer towards the hazards of the arena. Razer is not buying it. Instead, he is biting into Tornado's top with very critical damage being caused. Tornado's pace slows. Razer's chase grows in pace. Coming in again. Biting down. Is he going for the motor of Tornado? Is he trying to take out the weaponry? He just wants blood, I believe. Simon Scotty and Lewis Vinny Blood behind the controls. Razer closing in. More smoke from Tornado. Time winding down. Can he finish the fight? He can! The grinder can do it for him, but Razer wins regardless. Ooh, it's been one hell of a great series, capped off with yet another amazing fight. 5 amazing fights in the end, with Razer taking the series 3-2, gaining back the bragging rights. Perhaps it's karma for the 5th result. It's been one hell of a long episode, so it's time to conclude it with the debate question that you'll talk about in the comments below. What do you think of the frame of Tornado? Should it have been allowed? Was it kind of crap that Razer couldn't put him in the pit? Have your say below. And if you want to see more from each recreated design, check out the Robot Wars Reborn series on this channel. Tornado featured in episode 6 and Razer featured in episode 7. Thanks for watching, have a good one, and we'll see you in the next episode.
From Thornhill, Panic Attack. From Belmont, Exterminator.
Roboteers, stand by. 3,